Forbidden month is with the forbidden month. Forbidden month sanctity is based on with the sacred month. This we have come to know. Asharul haramu bisharil haram. Asharul haramu bisharil haram. Forbidden month is with the forbidden month. So those people who are sitting and have attending for the first time, think 4 months we know. First one we know, Ramadan. If you look at if you don't know, look at the calendar. If you look at the calendar, I gave you. Ramadan is the 9th month in the calendar. I'm asking those people who are attending for the first time. 9th month is mentioned in the calendar as the 9th month. Ramadan is holy, forbidden. And Allah is mentioned 4 as sacred. To make it easier, just open this also and I go for further ayahs. Just keep this page open. The further ayat you have to go on page Al-Baqarah 2 and ayah 197. Al-Hajju Ashrum Ma'lumat. This much I am reading. Al-Hajju Ashrum Ma'lumat. The translation is the month of Hajj are known. The month of Hajj are known. So ladies and gentlemen, listen. The 9th month is Ramadan. 9th month is Ramadan. 9th month. If you look at the calendar, you can see the 9th month. In the calendar, 9th month you can see. And Allah says, Al-Hajj, Al-Hajju Asharu Ma'lumat. The months of Hajj you know. So now, sacred month is with the sacred month, we have come to know. Sacred month is with the sacred month. So Ramadan is the first month. What is the next month? No? Shawwal, the 10th month. And Zulqa'dah is together. Is 11th. And Dhul Hajj is 12th. So how many is? 4. So they are together. So by reading of the Quranic ayat, we have come to know that Ramadan is the first, Shawwal is the second, because they are together. Zil Qa'dah is the third, and the fourth is Dhul Hajj. So now the first Ramadan is the month of Ramadan. What happens in the month of Ramadan we will discuss in detail. But the 3 other months are the Hajj months. Because Allah says, Al-Hajju Ashrum Ma'lumat. All the people, Muslim, all the people know what are those Hajj months. Allah says, Al-Hajju Ashrum Ma'lumat. The Hajj months you know. So we know these 3 as Shawwal, the 10th month, Zulqa'dah is the 11th, and 12 is the Dhul Hajj. So Allah says, you know this. So Ramadan is mentioned and is given the 3. You know these 3. The 4th is the Ramadan is mentioned by name, and these 3 are mentioned. You know, you can know. So they are 4 sacred and forbidden months. Anybody who have not understood? Okay? Up till now. So this is how we come to know what are those forbidden sacred months. Hajj months are well known, and the Hajj months are Shawwal, Zulqa'ad, and Zulhijj, and Ramadan is mentioned by name. So they are all Asharu Bishar al-Haram. Sacred month, forbidden month is with the sacred month and the forbidden month. So they are all together. So after Ramadan month comes the first forbidden months, and then all the 3 are the Hajj months. They are known. So this is how. So now I will read from the first ayah, or that ayah, and explain one by one how the lecture will go. You have to go to At-Tawbah 9 and ayah 36. So these we have established from the reading of 3 ayahs or 4 ayahs that there are 4 forbidden sacred months. 4. Ramadan is mentioned by name, and the Hajj months are known. So Hajj months are Shawwal, Zulqa'dah, and Zulhijj. This is mentioned. Now, if you go back to Surah Tawbah 9 and ayah 36, we read and discuss. Inna indata shuri inda Allahi ithna ashra shahran fi kitabillah yawma khalaqa samawati wal ard minha arba'atun hurum dhalika ad-dinul qayyim فلا تظلموا فيهن أنفسكم وقاتلوا المشركين كافة كما يقاتلونكم كافة واعلموا أن الله مع المتقين. Surely the number of the months in the nearness of Allah are 12 months in the book of Allah. The day He created the skies and the earth, from those 4 are sacred or forbidden months. And we have discussed and come to know they are Ramadan, Shawwal, Zulqa'dah and Zulhijj. That is the judgment established, so you do not oppress your psyche in them by fighting, and you fight the mushrik associates entirely like they fight you entirely. And know that Allah is with those who guard themselves. So in the portions of the ayahs, we have come to know that Allah, in the first it says there are 12 months in the nearness of Allah or in the book of Allah. 12 months. And from among those 12 months where He created the skies and the earth, Allah created the skies and the earth, and He says that there are 12 months, which 12 months. And out of those 12 months, 4 are forbidden, sacred or holy. And that we have discussed and come to know Ramadan, Shawwal, Zulqa'dah and Zulhijj. We have come to know. So why they are forbidden and what is forbidden, again we will discuss in the ayat. But before I discuss I would like to tell you something. Eating the flesh of a swine is forbidden, but you cannot eat it until it's an emergency. If you are in an emergency, you can eat the flesh of a swine. If there is no other way around in your life where you're stuck up or something very difficult, in saving a life you can say you can eat the flesh of a swine also. But generally it is known as haram. But you see why the months are made sacred. There are certain things that are lawful for you, and there are certain things which are unlawful for you. That is the lawful food and unlawful food, or lawful doing and unlawful doing. That you have to do this and you have not to do this. There are certain things that are do's and there are certain things that are don'ts. But in certain situations, like for example, in the month of Ramadan, we fast. We all know this. Meaning, what is the fasting? That a lawful food, like eat and drink, the drinking of the lawful food and drinking of the lawful drink, it becomes forbidden on you while you are fasting. While I am fasting, food which is tayyib, good food, lawful food, I can eat, I can drink lawful drinks. But in the month of Ramadan, it is forbidden. I do not eat lawful food, I do not eat lawful drink. So this is why the month itself becomes forbidden. That in that month, we Muslims are fasting in Ramadan, and we do not eat and drink on a specific time from Fajr, from sunrise to sunset. We do not eat lawful food. But that food is not unlawful. It is lawful. But we have made it unlawful. Allah has made it unlawful in a specific timings. So that is why the month has become forbidden. We should know why why Allah has made the month forbidden or sacred or Muharram or Muhtaram. We should know this. So Allah says in that month, we will read one by one and then you can discuss. But here it says, so you do not oppress your souls or psyche in them by fighting. Meaning whatever is mentioned in the Quran, that in the month of Ramadan, if you are fasting, you cannot fight. And you cannot oppress your soul in the month of Ramadan. I'm just giving you one example. But when I will read, you can do many other things you don't have to do. So when in the month of Ramadan, if I fast, I do not fight. Because it is a forbidden month. You are not allowed to fight. So Allah said, you do not oppress yourself, soul, psyche in them by fighting. And you fight the mushriks so entirely like what they find you entirely in other than the sacred months. After the 4 months have passed, you can fight them. But in the month of Ramadan, when you are fasting, or there are others do's and do's, you are not allowed to fight in the month of sacred months or forbidden month. So 4 months, in the 4 months, in all these 4 months you cannot fight. You cannot fight in these 4 months because they are forbidden. So fighting is prohibited. Fighting is haram or forbidden in the forbidden months to fight. In the months which are forbidden, and you cannot fight the mushriks. You can fight them entirely other than those 4 months, 8 months. From Muharram to, what is this? 8 month is Shaban. 8 months. From Muharram to Safar Awwal to Muharram, so from 8 months Shaban, you can fight. But other than the 4 months, Ramadan, Shawwal, Zulqa'ad and Zulhijjah, you are not allowed to fight. So because they are forbidden months. So in that forbidden month, the law is applied not to fight. So that is why they are forbidden. So the 4 months, in the 4 months, you cannot fight. They are a forbidden month. So why I'm trying to tell you is a lawful, fighting is lawful. It is a requirement according to situation. But it becomes forbidden in the month of, not only the month of Ramadan, but all these 4 months, because they are forbidden months. So months are, sanctity is based on certain laws, which are lawful in other months, but become unlawful in those specific months. Those specific months, it becomes unlawful. So first we have come to know in this ayah that in the 4 forbidden months or the sacred months, fighting is prohibited. One act is mentioned, one do. You can fight, but it's a do, but it becomes forbidden in the 4 months. So now in Surah Tawbah 9 and ayah 2. فَسِيحُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ أَرْبَعَةَ أَشْهُرٍ وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّكُمْ غَيْرُ مُعْجِزِ اللَّهِ وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ مُخْزِي الْكَافِرِينَ. Then make a trip in the earth in 4 months, and know that you cannot disable the will of Allah, and that Allah will disgrace those who reject. Now it says, normally people who take up the responsibility of visiting for Hajj, Hajj is an obligatory, but it is a farz, but conditional. No, everybody is not allowed, or they cannot perform Hajj until they have got the means to provide. And in that means is money, wealth, health, everything. So whoever got the capacity or the will and ability to perform and go and visit Mecca for Hajj, he can visit. So in this verse it said that make a trip in 4 months for performing Hajj, if you intend to do so. So normally people start, before the month of Ramadan, it is not Hajj month, but it is a month of fasting, but people start visiting before the month of Hajj. To visit that, they want to spend the whole month Ramadan there, and then for the Hajj they go there. So in Mecca or in Saudi Arabia, if you are going there for Umrah, so after the last 10 days or after the Eid, they give you a specific era or timings are mentioned, that if you stay beyond that time, if you are in those limited sins of those days are there in Mecca, if you want to stay back for Hajj, you can stay. That's the law of Saudi. That, for example, I went to Umrah in the month of Ramadan, in the end of the month of Ramadan, and Ramadan is finished, and I hide myself. My visa is being expired, and I hide myself till 10 days, so that I can be a part of the Hajj. So if you hide, and then after that they say, okay, now we are announcing, Saudi say, we are announcing a date and times. If you are hiding, you come out, we will not send you back, you can perform the Hajj and then go back. So they get special visa. So this is what I said, you can make a trip if you are, so what I am trying to say, they know this. So if you are in the traveling of that vicinity, that place, so they have made that sanctity. They made a law that if you want to stay for Hajj now, you can stay back. So they gave us special visa. But people, they can misuse, and people are misusing, so they are staying back after the Hajj also. They want to do certain jobs. That's a separate story. But what I'm trying to say is, they give you the permission that there's a limit that if you come in that limit, they announce themselves, that's their system. If they come in that days, so you can stay back. So here we have come to know that you can make a trip for Hajj. So Allah says, make a trip in the earth for those who, for Hajj in 4 months, and that you cannot disable the will of Allah. And that Allah will disgrace those who reject. It's a practice, it's a general practice. People are traveling for Hajj from the month of Ramadan and before the month of Ramadan. And the Umrah visas are stopped. So they don't, after the last 10 nights, the month of Ramadan, they do not allow the Umrah. They say now it's the days of Hajj has started. So it starts from the month of Ramadan, traveling time. So this is also confirming our 4 months. These ayahs are confirming that Ramadan, Shawwal, Zilqad and Zulhijjah are all together. These ayahs I am reading and you are confirming what are those forbidden months. Now the Surah Al-Baqarah 2 and ayah 194. الشهر الحرام بالشهر الحرام والحرمات قصاص فمن اعتدى عليكم فاعتدوا عليه بمثل ما اعتدى عليكم واتقوا الله واعلموا أن الله مع المتقين. The sacred, holy, forbidden month is with the sacred, holy, forbidden month. And the sanctities, that is what is forbidden, have relations of the months of the months itself and the do's and the don'ts. I'll explain to you. So whosoever aggresses on you, so you aggresses on him, with the example of what he aggresses on you. And take guard of Allah and know that Allah is with those who guard themselves. Now Allah says, Ash-Sharul Haram, Bish-Sharul Haram. I explained to you that the forbidden month is with the forbidden month. We have understood that Ramadan, Shawwal, Zulqa'dah and Zilhijjah all are with together. Now the next portion is Wal Hurumatu Qisas. Hurumat is sanctities. Qisas is relations. Now sanctity of those months and what people, Muslims, are ordained by those months, in those months, have relations. If, for example, if you takes up a duty of performing pilgrimage or Hajj, there are certain rules on you. You have to wear ihram and other things. I'm just trying to point out what are those sanctities. So there are certain acts which you have to take when you are performing the Hajj. So those sanctities have got relations and the month is with that month. So that relations are carried in the other month. Like for example, if I want to perform Hajj, I am not allowed to fight. Suppose, we have understood in the 4 months that we are not allowed to fight in the previous ayah. So what is the relation in those 4 months? That all these 4 months I will not fight. Wal hurumatu qisas means that the sanctity of a month have relations. It will carry it forward. If I am performing Hajj and in that month I am not fighting, so that will carry in the 4 months. So they have got relations, qisas. It is not only for 1 month. Exceptions are there, I will read and will analyze. So the hurumatu qisas means they have relations. The sanctities have relations. What are those relations? When we read the ayah and when we say this is forbidden, like fighting is forbidden, it is relation. So you will not fight in all these 4 months. Not only one specific month, all these 4 months. They have relations. فَمَنِ اِعْتَدَى عَلَيْكُمْ فَاعْتَدُوا عَلَيْهِ بِمِثْلِ مَا اعْتَدَى عَلَيْكُمْ وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ مُتَّقِينَ وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَ الْمُتَّقِينَ. So whosoever aggresses on you, so you aggresses on him with the example of what he aggresses on you. And take guard of Allah and know that Allah is with those who guard themselves. In this ayah, meaning that whatever the prohibitions are mentioned in the Quranic ayah, and if he tries to aggresses on you of not abiding them, you aggress them back and asking them to abide. Whatever is mentioned in the ayahs, if you are performing Hajj or if what is the sanctity of the fasting. So I will explain to you, because these ayahs do not explain the whole matter in one ayah. It has another link there. So we'll read further and we'll come to know one by one. So whatever the forbidden things are mentioned to you, they are forbidden to you in all those 4 months. And whoever aggresses upon you like that, you aggresses on them back. Take guard of Allah and know that Allah is with those who guard themselves. So now we will start from Ramadan. Surah Al-Baqarah 2 and Ayah 185. Sharu Ramadan alladhi unzila fi al-Quran hudal lin-nas wa bayyinatin min al-huda wal-furqan faman shahida minkum ash-shahra falyasumhu. Ramadan is the month in which Al-Quran is revealed as a guide to mankind, for mankind, and for the clarification from the guidance and from the criterion. So amongst you whosoever witnessed that month, then he should fast in it. So from here we'll understand one by one what are the sanctities, do's and the don'ts, especially in the forbidden month. Ramadan is the month we have come to know that it's the forbidden month, in which the Quran was revealed as a guide for mankind. The Quran, purpose of Quran is to take guidance from the Quran. We have to take guidance for mankind. It's a guidance and a clarification from the guidance and from the criterion. So amongst you whoever witnessed that month, then he should fast in it. In this ayah you will note the Quran is mentioned that it has been revealed in the month of Ramadan. Number one, purpose for revelation is a guidance for mankind, that people should guide their lives, and it's a clarification from a criterion and a clarification from criterion, that it tells you what are the do's and don'ts, what is right and wrong. Criterion means it is a criteria. Quran is a criterion by virtue you can understand what is correct and what is false, what is true and what is wrong. It's a criterion. It's a touchstone. You can judge what is right and wrong from the Quran. What we have to do and what we have not to do. It's a criterion. Now the special thing in the month of Ramadan, it is a forbidden month. So whoever is present during that month should fast, or witness that month should fast. So why it has become, we are saying it's a forbidden? Because we as Muslims are fasting. And the detail of the fasting, we are not discussing how and from what timing. We know from sunrise to sunset, we fast. So why it has become in that, what is a fast? That you abstain from drinking, you abstain from eating the lol tayyib good food. Eating of the lawful tayyib good food is forbidden. It's not forbidden otherwise. So that is why it has become a forbidden month. Ramadan has become a forbidden month because we do not eat lawful food in that month. We do not eat or drink lawful good in that month. This become unlawful. That is forbidden. That is the why we say it's a forbidden month, sacred month, or holy month, or forbidden month. So we are doing certain things which is lawful in other months, but now it has become unlawful from a certain timings. So this is the important point I was trying to make. In why the month is forbidden, it explains. The month is forbidden because in that month there are special things are associated with it, and that only in that month you are not allowed to do the lawful things. And why Allah said لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ? Another ayat says يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Oh, you believe, fasting is written over you as it was written before you, so you can take guard. Taqwa. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Take guard. You see, the consciousness and awareness of Allah is to take guard from the ayahs of Allah. You cannot be conscious of Allah's ayahs unless you take guard your psyche by the do's and the don'ts that are mentioned in the Quranic ayahs. So for example, adultery is in any case wrong. But there is a charm to it, people get fascinated, right? So it's difficult to, Allah says, do not go near the fornication, it's wrong. It is difficult to control on that. In the unlawful things which are mentioned as unlawful, do not drink, do not gamble, is you are supposed not to do. But how you can improve upon, Allah has made the lawful things unlawful in the month of Ramadan and make you conscious and aware of certain do's which were lawful, so that you can in normal days can control yourself in the which is haram for you. I repeat again, that those things which are lawful, that eating of food, like for example, in month of Ramadan you fast. So you don't drink. I've seen young boys and girls, I was young, we do not eat and drink in the month of Ramadan, don't we? Who is looking at you? You become aware, no, I cannot eat and I'm fasting. So that means you are increasing your taqwa, you are guarding and you are conscious of Allah, that Allah is looking. You can eat and drink in the room somewhere, hide and seek, and you can eat and drink, but you don't. In alone you don't. That is the increasement of your taqwa. You are taking guard of Allah's ayat. You are conscious of Allah become conscious. You become God conscious. You are aware of it. But as the fasting, it developed your personality. For a certain period of time, you did not drink and you did not eat. But in the normal days, you are allowed the lawful food. So suppose swine is forbidden, and somebody is addict of eating a swine. So in the month of Ramadan it came, so he is not eating anything. So he will not eat the swine, suppose. So after the month of Ramadan, he can quit of not eating the swine because he was God conscious in the month of Ramadan. So he can develop this God consciousness or Allah's awareness in the month of Ramadan. Lawful food he was allowed not to eat. So after the month of Ramadan, he can abstain from the unlawful, the eating of the flesh of a swine. So why I'm trying to say, these 4 months, Allah is giving us, this is a training period of the Muslim community. It makes you aware of God consciousness or Allah's awareness, that in the lawful things you start practicing those. So why can't you forbid the wrongs? Or why can't you forbid the wrongdoings in the normal days? So this is how in a year, 4 months is a training program. If you abide by that, if really a person who got the wealth in the month of Ramadan, he fast, and then in the 3 months he traveled there and who performed the Hajj, what problems he faces there? A person who have performed the Hajj, it may be for 5 days, but all the month if you are there, and if you are in Muharram, if you are wearing the Ihram, there are certain laws that are abided on you. If you develop the patience of performing those, I will read in the month of and the months of Hajj, there are certain things are again forbidden on you. Otherwise they are lawful. But if you develop that 1 month Ramadan and 3 months righteousness of performance of Hajj, 4 months, and believe me, in the 8 months you can become more conscious, more aware of practicing the do's and the don'ts in normal year, normal 8 months. If you develop that sort of consciousness in the month of Ramadan and Hajj. So now, in this month of Ramadan, there are other 2 aspects that we are allowed to do, which are not mentioned in this ayah. I give you the cross reference or the side reference. You can note down is Surah Al-Baqarah 2 and ayah 187. There are 2 more points that in the month of Ramadan we Muslims also do, which generally we know that, but we don't know. Some people, generally it is known that we are fasting from sunrise to sunset. But there are other things also mentioned. In that ayah that I'm reading a portion, I'm not reading the whole ayah, I'm reading a portion. أُحِلَّ لَكُمْ لَيْلَةِ الصِّيَامِ الرَّفَثُ إِلَى نِسَائِكُمْ. Allah is made lawful to be indecent to you or you can have obscene talks to your women in the night of the fast. In the month of Ramadan, you fast.